Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about everything having to do with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and his beautiful wife, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Thanks for joining me. I hope you will consider subscribing to my channel, especially if you are a fan of the Duke and Duchess. But even if you're not, um, I welcome everybody. I'm an equal opportunity um, welcomer, right? And I hope we can agree just to live and let live, especially thinking about how transient our time here on the planet is. And I just think we all need to, be more mindful of that and of our choices of how we're going to be with each other, you know? So, that said, what am I going to talk about in this one? So, this is my third video for today, and I've already spoken about um, Harry's monologues and kissing and making up with the royal family. Okay, so in this one, I will talk about the fact that this morning I saw in this on this YouTube channel, I don't know which one it was, where this royal expert was being interviewed, and he basically said that Harry was a lot more sympathetic to his father, King Charles III, than he expected, and then, I guess a lot of people expected. And so he was a lot more sympathetic to Charles, but a lot harsher to William than he expected. And I thought that was very interesting because I did notice I haven't read the book as I've said before. I tried to get it. It's sold out. So I'm on this waiting list at this particular bookstore and so on and so forth. But it seems that to me that there hasn't really been this huge outcry from the anti-Harry and Meghan media about anything that he said about Prince Charles, the sovereign. I mean, it sounds like he's been harsh about his stepmother, if one could call it that. He's harsh about his stepmother, Camilla, but he's not really um, as harsh with Prince Charles as people sort of led the public to believe it was going to be. And it doesn't sound like there was any smoking gun where they could point to it and say, well, for this reason, he shouldn't go to the coronation. I haven't really been hearing this dialogue a lot. So I kind of found that curious. And then this morning I heard this guy say, well, it just wasn't, as harsh. In fact, it was quite sympathetic towards his father. And was I surprised by that? No, because in the end, I really feel like I have said repeatedly that Harry loves his family. He loves his dad. He loves his brother. And he loves his family. And it breaks his heart that he was put in a position where he had to choose between them and his wife. And a man, normally, not all, but I would say 80% of men, if they have to make that choice, are going to choose their wives. It's just like this. When a man loves a woman, you know that song? I'm not going to sing it to you because I love you, but when a man loves a woman, he'll turn his back on his best friend if he put her down. And that's what's happening here. He turned his back on everybody for his wife. You're gonna respect my wife. This is my wife. And in disrespecting her, you disrespect me. You're disrespecting my choice. You're telling me that my choice was shit, pretty much, because you're treating her like she's shit. You're literally telling people to throw shit on her. So you're basically throwing it on me. You're saying to me that I have no taste. You're saying that I have no judgment. You're saying that I don't know what I want and what I need. And you're trying to deny me the person who makes me happy. It's on me. It's against me. When you attack my wife, you attack me. I don't think that these people understand that for their lives depended on it. And this idea of, what color are his children going to be. I mean, this is, like I said before in another video weeks and maybe months ago, it's this man's seed. I mean, you're attacking his very body. I mean, these are his children, for God's sake. They come out of him, you know. So I am not surprised that he took the position he took and he went with his wife. But I also see that this is a man who loves his family very, very much. And he loves his father very much. His father is his only surviving parent right now. And, he really wants his father's approval. He wants to know that he's equal in his father's sentiments. And I don't think he knows that. He needs reassurance. He wasn't getting that. And then on top of that, you're going to diss my wife. I mean, it's bad enough I'm second and I'm a spare. And, at one point, he apparently said that he feels like he was bred as a spare part, like a tire in a car or something in the back trunk, just in case the real tires blow out. Imagine feeling like that you were bred. It's almost like a slave, like you're forced bred to work. You're forced bred to be a spare. It's a horrible feeling, I think, for anybody to feel that way about their existence. And, so if that's how he's feeling, it's telling me that this is a young man who needed and still needs the reassurance of his father. And in particular, his father. I mean, even if his mother were alive, there's something different between mothers and fathers. They both have their own specific role in our lives, right? I mean, you are your father's seed, right? And there's a different thing that you need from your father than you need from your mom. Your mom literally brings you into this experience. God bless her for that, right? And you can't underscore enough how monumental her role is in this experience. But your father is, it's you are his seed, quite literally, and that he planted in someone. Do you love me? I mean, like it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but like this is what Harry feels, and the answers for him from his father are not clear. They're not clear. And then he brings home a wife, after giving William his moment. William had his time. William had his wedding. William had 2 children. And there was Harry blowing in the wind, feeling lost, not knowing where does he fit. Now they have all these other spares. Where do I fit in this experience, right? And then he finds a wife, someone that he loves for him, someone that satisfies something in him, his humanity, his individuality. It had nothing to do with everybody else. This is about this man's humanity, his life. My God, his raison d'etre. He found that, right? Whether he's right or wrong in the end, this is how he feels at this moment, right? And he brings this woman home, right? He's so happy, and he shares her with his family and with his dad, and he just wanted approval. He just wanted acceptance, right? And in dissing his wife, you dissed him even more. You just made him feel so small, especially in front of her, because he brings her home to this palace, to the world, to the country. I remember what he said. I want to introduce Meghan to the country. I remember these things, okay? Because I'm very, I'm very perceptive, and I'm listening to all of these things and I'm watching. He wanted to introduce her to the whole country because he wanted them to love and accept her as much as he loved her. And to have his family not just reject her privately, but so publicly as well. And to believe, whether it's true or it's not, that they fed her to the media. I mean, I would love for them to prove that it's not true, because if that's true, just imagine how that feels for this young man, But all through all of that, I don't think he ever hated his family or his father. He loves his dad so much, and he just wanted and still wants his father's approval and acceptance. And of course, when you take that in conjunction with this whole thing about how much he looks like James Hewitt, which he does. I mean, even I have to admit it. It's just uncanny, really. But as I said, look, I mean, things happen in people's lives. I mean, things happen, you know what I mean? What does it take to get pregnant? I mean, you know what I mean? Boom, you're finished, right? So could it have happened where his mother, it could have, it could have, right? Because her husband, with all due respect, was not being a husband. And she was lonely, right? And she was unhappy. And she needed someone to tell her she matters, she's beautiful, she's desired. And this man was her lover. Now, he denies and she denies, when did this relationship begin? Right? I don't know. But guess what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, even if this man is Harry's biological father. And yes, he could be. He could be. But guess what? Biological father and legal father are two completely different things. And if I recall anything from my years as a divorce attorney, I mean, if a child is born while two people are married, he's presumed to be a child of that marriage. Okay? And for the father, for the legal father, which is Charles, to denounce that child, he would have had to have done that a long time ago. And even so, it's not clear to me that he could have, because that child was born in the marriage. So it doesn't matter who's Harry's biological father is. I mean, it matters to Harry. Harry wants to be Charles's biological father, and I hope that he is. I mean, biological son. I hope that he is. But in the end, in the law, it doesn't matter. He still has the right to be called Prince Harry. He still has the right to inherit from his father. His children are still this man's grandchildren. Nothing changes except his DNA. His DNA, right? Which is important. His DNA is important. I mean, it's important to know, your DNA. Yeah, you have a right to know. But in terms of his legal rights as, the perceived son of the King of England, nothing changes, even if James Hewitt is his father. Now, I don't know why they look so much alike. It's just crazy, really, isn't it? It's very crazy. It's very uncanny. But anyway, that's all for this one. I just to say that I think Harry was sympathetic to his dad in his book because he just loves his dad. This is his dad. This is his legal father, right? No matter what. And I just want Prince Charles to, King Charles III. I'm not happy with how he has handled this at all. He's too cold, and he needs to be warmer to his son and his grandchildren, and to show some kind of public gesture that he loves his son and he loves his grandchildren and he accepts Meghan because his son has chosen her. That is a form of respect to his son and a form of love to his son. That's something he has to understand as a parent. See, that's why I'm not a parent, because I feel like I'm not equipped to be a parent, because it's so much that you have to understand about your children that I think that maybe the average parent doesn't, which is to me malpractice. It's parental malpractice, quite literally, what's going on with Charles right now with his son. And that's why I don't think just anybody should be a parent. That's why I'm not a parent, because I know my limitations, right? I know what I can handle and what I can't handle. And, I would have just messed up my kids because, you've got to be sensitive to your children. You have to be sensitive to your children. I mean, honestly, does this man not understand his own son, biological or not? How do you raise someone for their entire lives and not understand these basic fundamental things? I mean, he needs your approval, sir. He needs your acceptance. He needs to know that he's equal to his brother in your heart, even if not in the institution. I mean, no, no. It's not rocket science over here. Oh my gosh. So this morning I woke up to all these automatic responses from the MPs in the British Parliament. I mean, it's funny because I sent the email yesterday. So you would think that I would have gotten the automatic response right away, but instead I got them all this morning around the same time. So that's kind of like un petit peu bizarre, don't you think, due to parliamentary protocol? Well, it still means, I think, that the emails did go through, so they have received notice, which is what's really important, right?